Woo, we've got some hot coals, baby. It's gonna be a good day. You're in the chef's pantry. I'm Anna Rossi, and guess what? We're making arrosticini. See, I am whisking you over to Italy. Who wouldn't want to go there? And I'm taking you into the region of Abruzzo. It is just east of Rome. It is mountainous and it is glorious. And guess what? They have a lot of sheep. So the way that we order calamari is how the Abruzzese order arrosticini. It is basically lamb skewers. But just like, in my humble opinion, all things Italian, they have perfected the art not only of living, but food done simply perfect. So these aren't your ordinary kebabs. These aren't your ordinary skewers. The dimension is perfect. The cook is perfect. They even have a grill, an arrosticini grill, designed solely for these delicious, meaty, salty snacks. So should we make them? Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so this, my friends, is a Cubo. You can find these actually pretty easily now online. About 8 years ago, it was a little more tedious. I had to order one from Australia via Italy, and it came like all the way around the world before these landed here. But this is what it looks like. It's the ultimate box for making pure, perfect arrosticini lamb skewers. So this can hold about 6 pounds of meat. It has little guides that we're going to use to drive bamboo skewers through. The separation is about 1 centimeter apart and then 13 centimeters wide. And then there's a little slot for us to drive a fillet knife through. So this is gonna yield 100 skewers, and they vacuum seal beautifully. Definitely keeps them on hand. But my guess is that you're gonna blow through them as soon as you get them out of here faster than you can throw them into the deep freeze. So, one thing I like to do when I go to the market is always look price per pound for my meat. You can buy bone-in leg of lamb. However, unless you're really good at using your butcher's knife or boning knife, chances are you're gonna leave a lot of meat on the bone, and even if you pay a little bit more for a boneless leg of lamb, in my opinion, it ends up being easier. So that's what I've done here, and then I've gone ahead and gotten to start cutting it down, but as you can see, like a leg of lamb has really nice fat on it. But one of the things that makes arrosticini so perfect is this layering of beautiful lean meat with little like licks and layers of the lamb fat that will melt when they hit the hot coals. So with a chef's knife, you're just going to want to go around your leg of lamb, take off as much of the fat until you hit the lean meat as possible, and then go ahead and slice in with the grain to create little lamb steaks that are about 1/4 inch thick. It's going to look like this. And this is what we're going to use to stack and pack in our Cubo. Okay, so let's go ahead and shave this off and layer it up. Okay, so some of the pieces too, like I want to create as big of slabs of the lean meat as I can. So some of them I'll slice just cleanly across, and some I'll try to butterfly open like that so they lay into the Cubo nicely. But here we have a little over 6 pounds of the lean meat divided with the thin layers of beautiful buttery fat. Now let's go ahead and stack it up. So it's all about getting a really good pack. And if you think about the distance between these slots being about 1 centimeter, that's what we're going for with our little lamb steaks that we're going to lay in here like that. So every little bite of lamb will be a cube, like the name, Cubo. I get it. There we go. Let's pack it in. Whoa, okay, 6 pounds plus and change in the Cubo, packed. Now, let's skewer it. Okay, so 8-inch skewers are definitely the way to go. We've tried 10-inch, they're too long, 7-inch are too short. These are our Goldilocks size. And then the cool thing about this little Cubo is that these holes are gonna give you a really good guide. And then sometimes it might be a little difficult to drive through like a really coarse piece of meat. Well, for one, you have this little shield that you can use to press and crack it. Or look, if that doesn't work, then it also comes with one of these metal stakes that you can really use to drive through it. Give it a head start and then pop in the bamboo skewer. And just like with any natural ingredient, there is a little like imperfection in some of the diameter of these bamboo skewers. So if they don't fit perfectly, like I don't know what's going on with these, then try the next one. So usually they sell them in packs of 100. I get 2 packs just to make sure that I have enough to get me through. 100 skewers driven through with passion and good hunger. Okay, now we slice it up. So this is going to get pretty juicy pretty quick. So I'm going to move this over to a rimmed baking sheet. Just get rid of this and then slide it over. And now with a fillet knife that's long, sharp, and thin, I'm gonna go ahead and drive this through all sides. Well, 10 on one side and then 10 on the other. So you make the little cubes, get it? This is fun. Okay, let's get started. Whew, just because it's simple doesn't mean it isn't a good workout, but we did it. Okay. So now we remove them from the Cubo. So for this situation, we're gonna flip it over, pop out the bottom, put that in the sink, and then I'm gonna use this nice little flat stainless steel shield to push out this densely packed block of meat. Okay, can she do it? So we're kind of using this from both ends. Okay. Ah! Flip it over, and then this will help protect your hands from getting poked by the little skewers. Okay, here's what we have. Our little block, our brick of delicious, tender lamb meat. Now let's see how we did slicing it. If we didn't slice all the way through, we can go in with the fillet knife and just finish it off. But look at these awesome little lamb kebabs ready for the grill. 1 centimeter cubed, perfect and ready. And guess what? It is so simple to season these. When we come back, we're gonna fire them up and then chow them down. I'll see you in just a few. Welcome back to the Chef's Pantry. We're making arrosticini today. So we have here about 100 lamb skewers. We just packed and sliced in this magnificent little Cubo straight from the Abruzzo region of Italy. And now we're ready to fire them up in a very special way. But I mean, I feel really rich right now. Look at all these lamb skewers. We're gonna vac seal about 80 of them right here, ready for the next party. And then this is what we're gonna work with today. So this is the Arrosticini grill. Okay, so you know one of those things like the Italians really have it figured out? Well, it's not just the espresso and the gelato. When we were in Abruzzo, we went for a hike up a mountain, and I looked over at these like 20-year-old kids being super cool, like playing the guitar. One kid had his musical instruments on the back, another one had his bongo, and another one was carrying a grill just like this on his back up the hill, like we do with solo stoves, you know, for a beach bonfire, but to go grill lamb skewers. So this grill is very specific to making the perfect arrosticini. So you can see really, like, these are really small, like in their dimension. 1 by 1 centimeter, about, I don't know, 10 to 13 centimeters long. But if you look at this gutter-like grill box that's all stainless steel, you can see how close to the hot coals the lamb meat is going to sit. And that's going to impact the texture and the flavor. I'm gonna get right in there. So I really like using lump hardwood charcoal. It has a really high heat threshold, so you're gonna get this really magnificent sear on the outside, and especially when you're working with lamb, I want it to be medium rare on the inside, but have really good texture on the outside. And then when you have these hot coals so close to the meat, it's going to render off the fat. The fat is going to drip onto the coals. It's going to fire back up, delicious, flavorful, mouth-watering smoke, and infuse the meat with flavor. I mean, like, talk about the best souvenirs being ones you can eat. This is it right here. Okay, but so I mentioned earlier that the Cubo and Arrosticini grill are easier now to order and find online, but you don't need something like this to be able to make delicious Arrosticini. If you have a traditional grill or whatever size, you can do it directly on your propane or your open coals. You can use just a little strip of foil to protect your bamboo sticks from scorching, or one of our friends, Stephen Reichland, makes these really cool grill shields. So you can lay it onto your direct flame and then butt up the protein with your little skewer here, and that will help keep it from burning. Another thing is a lot of the propane grills have charcoal insert boxes, like this one here. The Fire Magic has the box that's laying right down there. We could fill this with our coals. We could use the convenience of the propane to ignite the coals without having to do like the fussing and everything with the chimney. And then if you want to add a little extra flavor with the smoking, you can add that. But let's see, let's check on this. Okay, ooh, look at that. Okay, so we first had these. I'm gonna just give these a little roll over, balance it off like that. So we first had these when AJ and I took a trip to Abruzzo about 9 years ago. We went on this incredible culinary tour with Leonardo, who has Abruzzo One. If you're looking for a food experience in Italy, I cannot say enough about Leonardo. And the thing that's really cool about Abruzzo region is that it's not overly saturated with tourism. So you get this really intimate experience with the purveyors and the makers and the farmers, and it was just so amazing. But anyway, we were driving around, we were stuffing our faces with truffle risotto and on saffron farms and making homemade ricotta and making pizzelle. And then Leonardo was like, well, I have to take you to one more place. And so we drove up into the mountains, further up into the mountains, to this refugio, this little hut in the most beautiful, picturesque area you could ever imagine, that was powered by a little generator. And out back was this very handsome older man. He looked like an 80-year-old George Clooney who's reading his paper, his Italian Times, and he was working over a grill that was probably 10 feet long, just like this, making the magic of Arrosticini. And of course, even though we were stuffed like pigs, we couldn't say no to just one more bite. Look at how the smoke is just like rendering and infusing in with these lamb bites, and look at that nice caramelization that we're getting. That's texture, that's flavor, that is what I want when I'm making Arrosticini. Anyway, we fell in love right there, and the first thing we did when we got back was research how to get this Cubo. And I think too, when you are playing around with different dimensions, like even with like a salad, like just changing how you cut and prepare your ingredients changes your entire experience. And that is proven right here with the dimension of these little lamb bites. Okay, that looks so beautiful. So before I pull these out, like there's nothing on this. It's just delicious grass-fed organic lamb meat. I'm just going to finish with a little kosher salt. If you want, you could use a little olive oil infused with rosemary, maybe like bundle some fresh herbs, dip it in extra virgin olive oil and just brush it like a little basting brush, but you don't really even need to do that. Okay, these are ready to plate up. Okay, so today I have a little cutting board with some edible flowers, a little hyssop and some mint, and I'm just gonna lay them right on top. Gorgeous, look at that. Oh, you could do this with oregano, you could do it with rosemary, or you could just do it plain on a platter and everybody is gonna be super happy. This is the way to be really popular at a party right here. Oh my God. Look at the color. Look at this. Like that is really good looking. Okay, and then I just want to finish off with a little kiss of salt. This is arrosticini. This is so beautiful. Oh. Thank you to the good people of Abruzzo right here. Oh, so good. Okay, but we're not done yet. This is definitely ready to serve up. But guess what? When I'm firing up the grill, we've spent a lot of time bringing the temperature up and getting some really good heat on the coals. So let's take advantage of it. Things are starting to die down a little bit. I'm gonna add this rack, and I'm gonna show you how we make our favorite roasted yellow peppers and anchovy sauce. In the winter time, I do this inside on the broiler, but I'm gonna go ahead and throw these right on top of the coals. Beautiful yellow peppers. I'm gonna scorch and get a great char on the skin and let the skin just drop right off. And when we come back, I'm gonna show you our favorite sauce, perfect for summer, and it'll even give you that glow. I'll see you in just a minute. Welcome back to the Chef's Pantry. So we're gonna end this episode with just one more love story, and it is the tale of roasted yellow peppers and anchovy sauce. I love this dish so much. And in fact, I love it so much, it's really part of my husband AJ's and my nuptials. I ate this dish probably for 7 days straight leading up to our wedding because promise you, it will give you the glow. You don't need any fancy creams, you need this dish. So I threw these peppers on those great hot coals that we had going on, gave it a nice rotation until I had some really good char. And if you've roasted yellow peppers or any kind of pepper, you know that you get this like great blistering effect. The skin just naturally wants to flake off your pepper. So you're left with this delicious, tender, almost like soft, like beautiful filet experience when you go to serve it up. So one thing I like to do is put my peppers after they've roasted into a bowl, or you could do this in a plastic bag, cover it with a saran wrap so it can steam and let that skin start to naturally pop off. And I've gone ahead and given us a head start and removed the skin from the beautiful bell pepper flesh here. And then to get our platter ready with these nice cooled peppers, I'm gonna lay things out. So these really are like little fillets of delicious golden summer beauties. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fan these out, and then look at this. Like the pepper creates this natural trough for flavor. So yellow peppers have this beautiful blend of big flavor, but subdued by this nice sweetness that we're going to pull in umami with this great anchovy sauce. Now, just make sure your friends and family don't have any food allergies. Once you've cleared that, if someone's a little leery of anchovies, don't even tell them what this is, because I guarantee they're gonna love it. It's just delicious. That's what it is. Roasted yellow peppers and delicious sauce. And it's so simple. So I always go for the classic Roland's anchovies, a little bit of garlic, and loads of extra virgin olive oil. And then all you need is 1 can, about 2 cloves, and about this much of extra virgin olive oil. And then I'm gonna put it into a little mini food processor. So I have the standard size food processor, but this mini one is perfect when you're blitzing herbs, creating a little finishing sauce. It gets used so much, and the nice thing about that size is really all the ingredients get really evenly incorporated. So I have 1.5 cloves of garlic. This is a big one, that's a small one. In it goes, and then I'm gonna eyeball the extra virgin olive oil. So if you foodies out there want a fun little pilgrimage, this olive oil actually came from this amazing Portuguese market down on Bedford Street in Fall River called Portugalia. See, it's like about a digit depth there, about 1 inch high. And then I'm just gonna twist it. But we stocked up on extra virgin olive oil while we were down there. And the Portuguese extra virgin olive oil has great flavor for a really good value. So I'm just gonna puree it until I see everything has spun out, nice and smooth. The garlic has emulsified in with the anchovy and garlic, and just like with all things, I want to give it a taste. This is so good. And all of this is such a great make ahead. So over to the yellow peppers. Let's go ahead and pour this out. And then it's all about giving yourself too much sauce. Look at how it even has like this greenish like quality. Now, if I wasn't trying to plate it relatively refined, I would probably put this entire bowl right on top here. But then it's about the bread. So I have this Tuscan boule that I've gone ahead and given some nice char marks to on the grill. If you're doing this inside, just throw it on a baking sheet, put it in the oven at 450, just until like the outside gets that like little tiny crust, and then you can crack it open so you have some nice texture combination. And then of course, don't forget to garnish your plate. I've been really loving these little nasturtiums coming from our garden, and even the leaves are edible, and they have this incredible like just green aroma to them that is so great. And then I love the frizzy parsley too. It's something I grew up with. I feel like Italian parsley gets so much attention, but we have to give a little nod to the curly leaf. Okay, so this is our roasted yellow peppers. We have the Arrosticini, thanks to Abruzzo, and now a little bit of this delicious bite here. And this is summer. Oh. And you need all three. The pepper, the anchovy sauce, and then that bread to scarpetta your plate. This is the good life. You guys, thank you so much for traveling with me today in the Chef's Pantry, and I can't wait to see you right back here next week. Manja, manja.